Hi guys, and welcome to Let's Talk Automotive. Quite the different studio setup tonight.
Yeah, for sure. We are at Motul South Africa's head office at Kyalami, might I add.
Yes.
And of course, very exciting for all of us petrol heads is the fact that as we speak, we have potentially the 9-hour guys starting their qualifying at 6 o'clock, if all goes well. But
it's been pouring down with rain.
It has. But they have rain tyres and they're professional drivers, so my sympathy levels are at an all-time low.
You want to see the action?
I want to see the action.
Okay, but that's not the reason why we're here. But we'll get to that just a bit later. So before we get into the show, Pete, let's just have a chat. What have you been up to this week?
Oh, it's been a nice busy week. We're preparing for a very exciting launch of one of Suzuki's new products that's going to be happening in the next 3 weeks.
Are you allowed to say?
The Solario.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Okay,
it really is, yeah.
Okay, so that's happening next week. I'm going away for the week.
Yeah, you and your Footbag Diaries pals.
Diaries, yeah. We're going down to Cape Town to shoot the new series, so that's going to be lekker. So yeah, it's quite a busy time, and that's also a reason why we won't be on air next week.
Yeah.
So we won't be on air next week, but the week after that we're back. All right, so I think, Peter, that's about it. I think it's time that we get into the show. And ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining us. This is Let's Talk Automotive. All right, so Mersha Jansen joining us, and now I'll tell you guys why we are here. Mersha, thank you very much for having us.
I've got my own mic, eh? It's our wheel cleaning accessory, but I feel it's a much cooler mic than yours.
Okay, so that gives a little bit of a hint why we're here. Okay,
so if anybody's wondering.
We were actually saying just now, why don't we have a Motul sort of...
Well, there we go. You see, I've got
and there it is, yeah.
Okay, so I've got my mic going on here.
So, Mersha, what's happening here at head office today?
So it's our car care launch. So Motul has launched a car care range globally. So we're finally launching it in South Africa. And unfortunately, as you guys have mentioned, it is pouring down. So guys, I did do my hair. But yeah, this is evidence that it has been pouring down. So we're having a very wet launch. We were wondering how we're going to demonstrate our car shampoo, and we were blessed with a lot of water to kind of wash off the car shampoo. So yeah, we're here today. We're launching car care range to South Africa, brand new, and yeah, we're super excited to introduce it to the market. So from Monday, we're going out there and having it available. So yeah, please follow everything and get to know our range.
Okay, so I was blown away. First of all, I've been using the motorcycle care range extensively because we get our bikes dirty, so
That's because you crash a lot.
There's a lot of mud, and So the products that I've been using on the motorcycles have been amazing, and I love them. So I'm glad that now these old buddies and Fritz and the guys can actually also get some products to clean the cars.
Absolutely. So people who's too scared to go on the two wheels, we decided to launch a care range for them as well. So yeah, I mean, as you say, we're very proud of our what we call MC Care range, which is the motorcycle range. And it was just naturally for us to go into the car care environment, and like holistically looking after your car, not only your engine, all those things, also looking at the interior and the exterior. So now the idea is that your car will be looked after by Motul from the outside, the inside, and even inside the engine. So very excited. We've got some great products. We've been demonstrating them tonight here to everybody to see that it's not just talk, and that it does what we say it does. And I mean, we've got a range of 17 products. From interior to exterior to accessories as well. Like my microphone that I have here. And this is our wheel cleaning accessory. So we have a wheel cleaner, which is an amazing product, super easy to use. So the idea with the car care range is to make it really easy to use. So you just spray it on. We're all very busy. Spray it on, and all the dirt. Even kind of from the tar, all that, the grease, any of the brakes, the dirt that normally on your rims. You spray it on, you leave it on for 2 minutes, and you wash it off with a pressure washer. If you haven't washed your car for several months, you can use our brush. And it's just super easy, and you've got a shiny new car.
All right, so you've mentioned there's 17 products in the range. I mean,
Yes.
that's an extensive range, and
Yeah.
it literally will clean anything from your front bumper, your windscreen, glass, all those kind of things. The one thing that always intrigues me, of course, is the cleaning agents for insects and all those kind of things. And
Yes.
just as a reminder, we had Peach van Kletzen on the show, and he had a hardy-dar problem. So I'd assume you've got a product that will take care of bird droppings and the like.
Yes, we do. So the insect remover actually, and like in the brochure it even says that, it's not just for insects, it's also for bird droppings. So it works really well. You know, I was saying to people, I have this thing with birds, so I kind of have quite a few birds at home, and I spend a fortune on bird food because it's just amazing. But the problem with it is a lot of bird droppings. So my car is permanently dirty, and we know that those things, if you don't clean it within the first day or two, it just...
That's it. I mean,
it
it's
just
very
sits.
acidic.
It's very acidic, yes. So this literally spray it on, wipe it off, and even with insects, same thing.
And I think it's maybe also important to mention, and I'm sure you would agree with this, is that I think people largely underestimate how important it is to take care of their car from a cleanliness point of view, because we've got so many outside factors that are actually influencing the paint. You know, I mean, industrial fallout, acidic rain, all these kind of things. It really, the paint takes a real beating. So it really is important to make sure that you do have the proper accessories, I suppose, to make sure the car's properly clean.
Absolutely, and that's actually the nice thing about our car shampoo, because some people go like, car shampoo is a car shampoo, you know what I mean? But this one actually has got ingredients in it to actually protect your car afterwards. So first of all, it cleans it, but also to deep down, bring that paint out again, to give it that shine, that deep protection, and also to have runoff afterwards. You know, it puts a protective layer so that any future dirt just runs off.
Yeah.
But the most important thing is that without having to polish your car, it actually brings that deep shine back out and actually puts a protective layer. And I think it's important these days. You know, new cars are becoming very expensive. You know, that we look after our cars, not only from the engine point of view, but also interior and exterior as well.
Well, let me just say that these guys have taken Petrolhead and taking care of things to a next level, because when I went to the loo just now, they even had odor cure. This is the Odor Neutralizer. So petrol guys, this is your new toilet spray.
Yes.
I love it actually. And in fact, I was thinking just that when I went there. I thought, well, I'm not going to use the normal stuff anymore. I'm going to definitely get
use strawberries and cream or lavender fields, you know, when you can use Motul Odor Neutralizer. So yeah, it's a great product as well that I think everybody should buy, because it's a 3-in-1. You know, it's a nice scent as well that lasts 8 days. But over and above that, it actually neutralizes the odors. You know, it fixes it. So if you have that, the tobacco smell, animals in your car, food that you've had in there,
or you've been driving around with frets in your car.
Exactly, it will sort that out. You know, and I actually tested it, guys. I was telling people I tested it on my boxing gloves, and I don't know anybody who's ever smelled boxing gloves. It's not pleasant, and I've tried everything, and it's great. It does neutralize the fragrance or the odor, and actually that nice fragrance lasts for 8 days. So I actually made the team smell my boxing gloves, and they were all like, really, do I have to? And they were like, because I sprayed one and not the other. I was like, smell this one, and everybody was like, it really works.
I think you've just opened up a whole new market, and
Absolutely.
I tell you
riding
why.
boots, people, riding boots. We all know. Can you do this with a microphone? We all know what riding boots smell like.
Well, here's a different one. So for a few months, I've been driving around, and I've noticed people driving with towels hanging out the boot of their vehicle.
Okay.
And I wondered what it was. I thought initially maybe they're trying to cover up their number plates, but it wasn't. And eventually, I cornered a guy at a shopping centre, getting out of his car with his towel hanging out of his boot, and I said to him, please, mate, this is driving me crazy. What is it that you're achieving over here? And he said, I'm a golfer. And these towels stink to high heaven after a while, so we can't leave them in our boot because it makes our car stink. So I think you guys need to sit.
Odor Neutralizer, golfers. Odor Neutralizer. We've got you covered.
Yeah.
All right, Misha, I know that you're busy and you've got a whole bunch of people downstairs, and you guys are busy with demonstrations and whatever, and making plans through the rain. But I've got one last question. We spoke about we're leaving the Fitbit Diaries guys are leaving tomorrow on a trip for Cape Town, and we're doing some filming there. Your association with Footbag Diaries, how did that come about?
No, so I mean, we had Pia and Jan came and spoke to us about it and telling us about it, and we're like, no, absolutely, it's where we can support to grow the industry and also showcase South Africa. I think we've all been stuck here for 2 years not having been able to travel, and I think it's maybe opened people's eyes of what the country has to offer. And I think this was also to say, hey guys, let's support this, and we give you the support that your bikes need for these long journeys, being out there in the middle of nowhere, and showcase what South Africa has to offer and get more people on motorcycles and exploring what we have.
Awesome. Thank you very
Great
much.
stuff. Thanks,
Thank you so much for joining us. You can get down to your guests, and you're going to send Taki up here so that we can talk a bit about all of these
More
funny
technicals there. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much.
Apparently, yes. Thanks for being at Motul. Cool. Cheers, guys.
Thanks.
All right, so we said that there's a lot of racing going on, and there's a hell of a lot of people here. They've invited, the who's who from the automotive industry, and we bumped into an old, favorite guy here. So, Mr. Martinengo, Sasha, how are you doing?
Guys, so good to see you. Happy whatever it is.
2022.
I reckon if you throw it hard enough, you'll hurt the hardy dog.
I think so too.
I must just say, I love cleaning cars. We were talking a little bit earlier.
We got a bit of a fetish.
Yeah, a fetish. I mean, I remember as a kid when all the car washes were still open, at night. Because nowadays everything's secure and it's locked up. There was a car wash that I used to go to. I used to have a 5 Rand coin. Okay, you put it into the slot and you had a high pressure hose. I used to go clubbing, and on my way home, wash the car.
So you sort of similar to Pete in the way that you guys have a bit of a problem.
Bit of an OCD problem when it comes to cars. I've always been like that ever since I've had my own car. It hasn't, unfortunately, filtered down to my kids.
Okay.
Because the cars were just horrendous. I used to sit there and go, I just can't believe this. So somewhere I did something wrong. But I think I make up for them.
Listen, let's talk a little bit about the racing. There's action. I'm not sure. We started at 6 and they were supposed to start at 6.
Yeah, listen, the flat-footed duck is in front, and the guys from the doozy are coming for some training. Unfortunately, the weather's not... I've solved South Africa's water problem. We've had a lot of rain across the country over the last couple of months, which is wonderful for the country. But I've realized that if there is a province or a town in South Africa that is struggling with water, just announce that you're having a 9-hour race.
Yeah.
And I promise you, it will pour.
I mean, Sasha, these poor boys, as they arrived here, their hearts must have dropped as it started raining, because, they've had 2 years in a row with torrential rain that just about red flagged the races. And now this.
No, listen, it's desperate. And it's just that, unfortunately, we had so much rain earlier that the track hasn't been able to drain properly.
I was going to ask you why they're not back up.
If this was just how it had been the whole afternoon, the guys could go out in these kind of conditions. But because there was such torrential rain like an hour and a half, 2 hours ago, that's unfortunately why nothing's out there at the moment. But so good to see you guys, man.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Listen, so talking about racing, you know that we are huge F1 fans and huge MotoGP fans. So a lot of interesting stuff happening F1, wave this year. Why don't we have a little bit of chat while we're here and we have you? We don't always get to have you, so why don't we get your insights onto what to expect for this season?
Well, funny, the Haas team released the livery of their car today, and in my opinion, that's not a genuine car. I think it's a render, and the livery of the car is exactly the same as last year. So I don't know if they're pulling the mickey out of everybody, but from next week we're going to start seeing these new 2022 cars in some kind of guise. This is not going to be the final product that we see come Bahrain, but I think we're in for a fascinating year. The only concern that I have for it is eventually it comes down to engine, because in 2014 that's really what messed up the last 8 years, although they were terrific 8 years. And the sense is, if Mercedes is faster than Honda, Red Bull, and Red Bull is sort of the same as Ferrari, and Ferrari is a little bit quicker than the Alpine Renault, you're going to have the same problem, because the engine regulations are fixed. So I'm just hoping that all of the engines are as quick as each other. And then from there, it's with all of these new changes, some are going to strike gold initially, some are going to strike sand, and then it's just going to be an evolutionary process. So by 2023, we should see the cars more equal.
Okay. So do you think that there's a possibility that Formula One could go a similar route to MotoGP in issuing teams tokens that allow them to catch up on the development side until they start seeing success and then they remove the tokens?
Well, listen, they did that over the last 3 years because they realized from the 2014 rule, I mean, Mercedes was so dominant that they had to allow those kind of tokens. With these new rules, don't forget they're bringing in ethanol into the racing, so it's 80% carbon fuel, 20% ethanol. And they've locked the regulations. I don't believe over this hybrid technology that we're running right now, I don't believe there's going to be a massive discrepancy between the teams. If there is, they're going to have to make a plan. Otherwise, you're going to have another 3 years of complete domination. But the budget cap is a very interesting one. You know, we had it already in 2021, but now we've got it in 2022. Doesn't necessarily mean that a team like Haas or Williams or whatever at this stage are going to be as good as Mercedes or Red Bull or even Ferrari or McLaren, but you know, you get some clever engineers, and from there you might just find some whiz kid at one of these teams who comes up with a great innovation and turns that car into a winner. So I mean, anything can happen.
Of course, the 18-inch rims are going to be a game changer. The aerodynamics. I think we could see some lucky designs coming through. My concern is I was actually watching for the third time the F1 Driven to Drive to Survive series, and a really sad episode on Williams when they failed to make it to qualifying on time. Do you think, you know, your comment about Haas and is a surrender? Even with the budget caps, do you think there's a possibility that some of the teams are just not going to cut it
If that had to happen, I mean, then it's disgraceful. Then the team doesn't deserve to be there, because don't forget, these cars were meant to be there at the beginning of 2021. But because of COVID, they were delayed by a year. So I mean, if that doesn't happen, that would be disgraceful, and then that team doesn't deserve to be there. This PR kind of stunt that they try to do today, Haas, is very, very peculiar. I just don't get it. I genuinely don't believe that car that I've seen the pictures of is a genuine car. It looks like just a rendered.
Okay, so I don't even know if I should open. Oh, listen, there's something happening here. Let me just see quickly. Oh, you've got the Haas render on the car. Is that?
Let's have a look.
Let's have a look quickly. Is that the one that you saw?
Yeah, that's the one that I saw. I mean, you know, I've seen so many renders. I just somehow don't believe that's the real car. I mean, why is there no one standing next to it?
Okay.
Maybe
in defense, they did say we are releasing just delivery.
Okay.
So I expected delivery, but now they've come out with this car. I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced.
Okay, I know that it's been spoken about, it's been debated, it's been argued and fought over, and whatever the case is.
Are we going down this road?
There's two things that we need to discuss. Two things, okay, quickly. The first one is I know that you've spoken about it and you've said you will say, but on this show, why don't you just please tell me your final thoughts now that you've had lots of time to think about the final race and what happened there with Hamilton and Verstappen.
I must tell you, the design of this can, this bottle, is fantastic. Because how many times have you washed your car and everything just rolls around?
Yes.
It's like a mini Jack Daniel's bottle.
Okay, is there a car cleaning kit to get rid of dumb questions?
In all fairness, I know it was massively controversial, and I know there's a lot of upset people on both sides of the fence. And I said it in my blog after 2 days after the race. Michael Massey was in a very, very precarious, very difficult position to make a call. No one would have wanted to have seen that race end under a yellow flag, the way that it was. He wanted to try and ensure that there was going to be some kind of a race. People can discuss, oh, well, Lewis could have pitted, and did he pit, and we would have liked track position. My blog explains exactly my thought. Michael Massey has been taking a tremendous amount of stick for this. But in terms of the rules and the regulations of how the safety car works and the veto that the race director has, he had every right to make the decision that he made. Whether we like it or not, whether you're a Lewis fan or you're a Max fan or you're neutral or whatever, he didn't do anything that was illegitimate or illegal. And that's it.
Okay, let's leave it there. I know it's very uncomfortable, but can you just do me a favor? Look into the lens and then you say, there you have it, Michael Clark.
There you have it, Michael Clark.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Sasha, thank you so much. It's always nice to have you on the show. Thank you so much for joining us. You can go down and you can have something cool for the throat and, you know.
No, guys, always great to see you. I love your shows as well. I so look forward to 2022 with you. And yeah, listen, great to be here as well. Pity about the rain. Maybe it'll change. We'll have some more racing action over the weekend.
Awesome. Thanks, Sasha.
Thanks, Sasha. Thank you so much. Yo, that was interesting.
Wow. I mean, you know, I think if I have to give a final thought on it,
Yeah.
if my opinion counts on these kind of things, but for me, it's a 22 race season. And everybody is harping on the final race, and I think that's maybe the problem. If we reflected on the whole season, I think in fairness, Verstappen was probably the better driver.
Yeah.
Maybe by a smidgen,
Sure.
but nonetheless, I think he deserved his title.
Absolutely. All right, so we are here tonight to talk about this amazing new range of Motul car care products. This is the car body shampoo, and there's so many. There's plastic clean and odor neutralizer. This is pretty cool. Have you seen this?
Whoa, look at that.
So this is the fabric and upholstery clean, and it's even got a little built-in brush. Can you believe this?
Wow, that is really awesome.
It's amazing, but you and I don't know anything about this stuff. Okay, so why don't we get an expert in?
Yeah.
Let's do this. And Taki's been on the show. Taki, come and join us. I'm not going to try and pronounce your... Just say your surname again.
So, Bojarges, Hippocrates Bojarges.
Oh my soul. I can't say his name or his surname. But anyway, thank you very much for joining us.
No, thanks for having me on the show. And yeah, it's always great being a part of this and chatting to you guys. It's always such a great show. I mean, I watch it every single episode and I love it. It's great sitting
I
behind.
know you're lying, every second one.
Maybe third one, but we try.
Listen, Taki, you had a nice demonstration downstairs now, and you had a demonstration up here earlier, and you know you spoke about some of the products. I know there's 17, so we won't have time to talk about all of them, but maybe some of them that we can just chat about. Insect remover was quite cool, and this upholstery clean was quite cool. So maybe why don't you just?
I think like the upholstery one's great for hair. No. No, so yeah, I'll chat about a few that stand out to me. I'm not an expert on car care yet. I've got a lot to learn. So it's an interesting range that we've launched, and I'm learning. I'm working with a couple of the detailers. They give me some feedback, and I'm learning new words that I've never been exposed to, especially when I look at the lubricant industry to this.
Yeah.
And often you don't think of it, like when you wash your car, sponge on, wash the car, sponge off,
Wax
hose
on,
down,
wax off.
wax on, wax off. But there's so much that the guys are talking about, and little upgrades that they've seen in products, and they like really happy with it. So that's really cool. So just look at our fabric and upholstery clean. The first time I got one of the, I got a bottle of this. My immediate thought was, let's try it.
Yeah.
And my car was downstairs. We were on the third story at Motul, so I pulled out my sneakers, sprayed them on my sneakers, and tried it on my sneakers, and it worked really, really well. And then in the afternoon when we went down, we did the same on the car. So what it effectively does is, it's a foam base, so when you spray it, you'll spray it with the can upside down. It sprays like a foam on a seat. So if you've got any dirt or a stain on the seat that you're struggling to get rid of, I mean, probably the worst is if you've got upholstery that's gotten wet, it leaves like a wet mark, and then you don't know what to do. This is great for that. So you spray it on, and the foam will like bubble, act on it a bit, and it will pull all of that out. Once the foam settles, you just scrub it off with the brush that's included, and let it dry. It leaves a bit of a pleasant smell, and it dries pretty quick, so it doesn't leave your seat wet, and it doesn't leave that like almost moldy smell that you'll pick up in your car. So that was very impressive for me.
Question on that. Is it also able to be used on roof linings?
Yes, so any fabric or upholstery in the car, so roof linings, your carpets, any fabric and upholstery parts in your car, you can use it, and it's really, really easy to use.
Okay.
Awesome. Okay, so what next? What are we going to talk about?
I want to talk about the Odor Neutralizer.
This is the one. This is the Odor Neutralizer. This is especially very important to us as a team at Let's Talk Automotive because we travel a lot with Fritz in the car, so maybe I can just have one of these and then just spray.
So, yeah, let's actually, before we go into too much detail, just look at our car care range. Speaking to the team at head office, the idea was to create a user-friendly, effective means of cleaning, that it's straightforward, nothing too complex, spray on, wipe off, and you've got a solution. So that's the whole aim with it, to be very effective and easy to use. So look at Odor Neutralizer. It's a 3-in-1 product. It will neutralize any form of smell that's in the air in the car. It will eliminate the cause of the smell. So if you might have a odor coming from a carpet or something, if the product ends up there, it will eliminate that, and then it leaves a nice smell afterwards. Now that nice smell will last up to 8 days in your car.
Wow.
A very easy way to apply. You literally
Turn and spray.
Before we get the camera lens, I thought of that while I was spraying.
But I think, importantly, there are differences in these kind of products. So some products just will mask an odor.
Yes.
This is neutralizing it and removing the cause, so it doesn't return. Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah. So like tobacco, it kills tobacco smell really, really well. And it's so easy. You literally open your car, spray it in, close your doors, and let it dry, and then drive away. And for 8 weeks.
Also,
8 days, you've got the smell.
If you've got that smell that comes from the air cons when they've got a blocked pipe and they get that horrible smell.
It's really, I was amazed with it, because it's often you'll spray something in your car and you don't, yes, it smells great now when you're driving away. Tomorrow morning when you get in, it smells the same, it's back. So that was really cool for me. Very easy to use, and that's what I really like. I mean, you can put it in at home, spray, close your doors the next morning, climb in, and you're sorted.
I think another one that's maybe relevant, especially with the rain, is the glass cleaner. Because what people don't realize is that even with brand new windscreen wipers, there's so much dirt and grime, and is it not one of these ones down here?
No.
Yes,
here we go.
Okay. So dirt and grime, and especially oil, gets onto your windscreen, and even with brand new windscreen wipers, you're still going to have serious streaks. So from a safety point of view,
I mean, like if we look outside today at our great weather that came, I mean, we decided to wash a car, so it started raining, as luck would have it. But glass clean, exactly. Like you say, you get so much residue just from being on the road. There's a lot of residue that builds up. And it's one of the things that irritate me the most. In the rain, you put your windscreen wipers on and you just have that streaking. It's like you got windscreen wipers on, but they're not doing much. Now, this is a really nice product to remove any residue. So any glass piece that you're trying to clean, whether you've got a tint on or anything, it will not affect that. You can spray it on. It's an anti-streak product. And then we've got our glass microfiber cloth to wipe it off. It makes it very easy to clean, because I mean, if you wash the car and you try to get a piece of glass without a streak on, you'll go crazy. Now that makes it very, very easy. It's a plant-based ethanol that's used in it as well, a bit more sustainable and friendly towards the environment. And
so it's basically F Formula 1 fuel.
Well spotted. And polycarbonate headlights and that type of thing?
First time I've had that question. I guess it's a new product range.
Sure.
I'll have to get back to you guys on. I don't want to give a yes and but I'll get back to you guys on that.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so I know 17 products, but so we won't be able to go through all of them. But where can people get more information? On your website?
Yeah, so we'll be doing quite a bit through our social media platforms. On our website, they can also select the products and pull up all the information on each product. There's also a technical data sheet that gives you quite in-depth information. And if the information's not there that you're looking for, if you have a specific question, pop us a message on our Facebook pages. I will respond. It will come through to me and I'll respond to you. And like I said, I might not always have the answers like we just saw, but I'll get them. The team in France is great, and they give me the information I need.
Awesome. Right, Pete, did you have any other questions?
Yeah, well, maybe just from a personal point of view, we spoke about your injury on your arm. How's that going?
Yeah, so I mean, we can see a nice scar there. That's
chicks dig scars, so that's cool.
Exactly, we've got a story to tell. I wish I crashed, however, because I didn't crash when that happened. So it's not really a great story to tell, so we won't talk about it. But a dislocated elbow, but we're healing up. I mean, it's just over 2 weeks, and my arm's working, and I'm happy.
And so you were saying you're just about ready to go racing again in the next 2 weeks?
Yeah, so we've got a national at the end of the year, end of this month, that I'd like to race. GXCC is tomorrow. Unfortunately, I won't be racing, but hopefully at the end of the month I'll be able to be back on the bike and go do stupid things again.
Excellent. Well, we wish you all the best. And we're very pleased to see that that's healing quickly. And good luck for the rest of the season.
Awesome, thanks guys.
Before
Thank
you
very
go,
much.
before you go, I've got two more things. The first thing that I want to talk about is quickly the event tonight. Obviously, with weather and all of that stuff, it didn't quite work out according to plan. But you guys still had a great turnout. People and you guys, like we do in South Africa, have made another plan.
Yeah.
So I think very successful, nice turnout. And then lastly, Taki, the guys from, and I don't even know if you know this, but they've given us a hamper.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they've given us a hamper. Thank you very much for
Thank
that.
you.
It's our pleasure.
The only thing that I need to do now is I need to ask a question. So maybe if we can ask, it doesn't have to be about car care, maybe it can be about Motul. So I don't know if you have an interesting fact that we can throw out there to the guys and maybe make them go and do some homework or research on that.
Okay.
And you're technical, so you can make it quite difficult if you want to.
Why don't we make it about the polycarbonate lights?
So let's think about Motul. Do we want to maybe ask about history, or do we want to maybe talk about a product or something interesting?
History is quite a nice one. I think we could do a two-part question to make
Do
it a
that.
bit more challenging.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
Motul is a very old company. I'll give the date.
Yeah.
Established 1853. What was the first oil used for in 1853? Since there weren't cars back then, so what was Motul producing oil for?
Nice.
And then the second question that I would put out to the guys and see that when was the first synthetic lubricant created for cars? And let's see who comes back with the answers. So there's two parts, and
Love
that
it.
person will win a lovely hamper and learn a bit about Motul.
Excellent. Great questions. Love it.
I like that. So you'll remember what he said,
Yeah.
because it was already over my head. Thank you so much for joining us, Taki. It was very nice seeing you. Thanks for hosting us. It was lovely to be here at head office, and we're very excited. You know, I'm not so excited about car stuff, so I've been using your motorcycle stuff, but my wife will like this. So because she cleans her car, not me.
Does she clean your car as well?
Sure. Got under control there, Fonny.
I clean my bike, she cleans her car.
Okay, sorted.
Excellent.
Thanks guys, thanks a million for having us, and thanks for joining us with the weather like it is. Like you said, South Africans will make a plan, and it's been a great event and really good to have you guys here.
Awesome. Thank
Excellent.
you so much,
Thank you.
Taki.
Perfect, thanks,
All right, guys, that brings us to the end of the show. Peter, so like we said, next week we are not on air.
Yep.
We might even do a little bit of a surprise. Fritz is looking at me funny. What do you want to say, Fritz? He doesn't want to say anything. Do you want to?
I must ask him.
What do you want?
Ask him about what? Ask him about
Footbag.
2 words. First word. What's happening with you guys next week?
No, I can't say
On
too
foot
much.
pig
I can't say too much, but we are going down to Cape Town for the week. We're starting to film on Monday morning.
So you're doing a cross-border. This is your first international broadcast.
Absolutely, yeah. So we're doing some traveling, and we are just going around the Western Cape area. I'm not a.
You're not in a position to give away too much.
I can't say too much, but what I can say is that I don't know anything about the Western Cape, so wherever I'm going to go, it's probably going to
Really?
be my first time, yes.
Wow,
Yeah.
you're going to love it. I promise you, it is another world. I'm very jealous.
The only thing that I know for a fact is that it's flipping hot down there at the moment.
Oh, well, awesome. You guys are in the open in any case. You got free aircon, so enjoy.
All right, guys, that brings us to the end of the show. It was so nice to be here. Thank you to Adelia and Mersha and the Motul team and everybody for hosting us. It was lovely to be here. We'll put up those questions separately on our Facebook page, and then you guys can get into contact with us, pop the answers, and then we'll pick a winner next week, when we're on air next week. So 2 weeks
time. Yeah.
2 weeks time, we'll pick a winner and then get the hamper off to you. Right, Pete?
Yeah, thank you very much. It's been a great event. The food's been awesome. Company's been great. We've been bumping into some old friends as well. So it's been a real treat. So thank you very much, and we look forward to seeing you guys in 2 weeks' time.
Have a great time. Have a good week. See you guys soon. Cheers.